The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. It is the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on a Wednesday. Is today Wednesday? I gotta get my days right. Jesus Christ, it all feels like one day, just all rolled up into one. But we are live. We are here on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. I got my dude Tommy Carranza tuned in right now, saying good morning, Tip. Good morning to you, Tommy. I hope that you are having a wonderful day so far. We got headlines coming out of the NFL. Trey Hendrickson set to end his holdout. What a way to start the show. Trey Hendrickson set to end his holdout, saying they don't have. I want to get the audio. I need to do that. So I'm going to be changing some of the imaging, some of the things like that at the beginning of the show, make it a little more professional than what it is right now. And I want to get it's Hump Day Wednesday thing because it's the camel. My name is Mike. The camel was like, Mike. I want to get that working with me. It just takes time. It just takes time. And I got to carve out some time now. I got a lot of ideas for little things that it is that I want to do. And yes, it is Hump Day, baby. The Bengals got to be happy knowing that TJ or that Trey Hendrickson has decided that he wants to end his holdout. They haven't come up. Whoa. Okay, LinkedIn. This is the second time LinkedIn sent me a message being like, I got like the big red sign from LinkedIn, but it sent it to me like 9 times. So we might not be on LinkedIn today, which is fine. I know I got a small audience over there on LinkedIn, so maybe they'll migrate their way over to YouTube. Let's see. But Trey Hendrickson hasn't come to a deal with the Cincinnati Bengals. They're doing it out of good faith, right? Also, it must suck getting fined $50,000 each day that you miss a practice. So you want to be there. And then, of course, you don't want to get any issues with your salary. More than likely getting your base salary, getting money taken away from that because you don't show up and play any of the preseason games, which you got to look at like the NFL. Say what you will about like the NFL. They really, whenever it came to like contract negotiations and stuff like that, the NFL really dominated the Players Association. I get the fine, like you're making a lot of money. The fine's not going to be a huge deal. $50,000 for a lot of people is a ton of money. You do that every day. Trey Hendrickson missed, a week of training camp, 5 days of training camp. So he's got $250,000 that he's got to pay in fines. That's a drop in the bucket for someone like him, right? But then you get your base salary taken away. It like part of your base salary taken away if you miss preseason games because of holding out. The NFL, man, they strong-armed the Players Association, man. Like I genuinely believe that. Our guy Richie saying, "Good morning, sir. LinkedIn is overrated." I'm always on it. I'm the same way. I can't think of the time. Oh, man, like I applied for so many jobs on LinkedIn, and I haven't even gotten like a call back or an email or anything like that. So yeah, LinkedIn a little overrated. And a lot of the stuff is like podcast producing and audio engineering and stuff like that, things that I do. But I get it. They don't want the tip. They probably see the videos and are like, yeah, we don't want this guy. Definitely not this guy. There's a part of me that says I can't blame them. Trey Hendrickson's decision to join the Bengals for training camp could help create movement in this stalemate. According to a source, Hendrickson is Hendrickson's impending arrival serves as a good faith gesture to spark negotiations with the team. Hendrickson, who will turn 31 this season, is the reigning NFL sacks leader. I can't read today. He was named the Associated Press All-Pro team, leading the league with 17.5 sacks. He was also a Pro Bowl selection for the 4th straight season. The Crooked Commish saying, good morning, or sup, guys, morning, money, Mike. Y'all ready for some football? First domino falls tomorrow. Mike, you free to come back to the clubhouse tonight. Tonight. It would depend on the time I have my son's basketball game at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So if we can do it like 7:30 or 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, that would fit most likely with me. Richie saying the Bengals are my favorite front office in the NFL. As a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, he would say that. Hendrickson lost his leverage when Stewart signed, 100%. And this is what I was thinking, right? Like, I saw the graphic yesterday where they were talking about the top sack leader since Hendrickson went over to Cincinnati. And Hendrickson is number 3 on that list behind Myles Garrett, behind TJ Watt. So you would assume that his contract wouldn't be more money than those guys, right? Like you haven't produced equally to those guys. Maybe we put you somewhere in between. Let's look up and see. What the contracts are between TJ Watt and Myles Garrett. I'm trying to come up with the numbers here. So TJ Watt has a 3-year, $123 million deal, an annual salary or an annual average of $41 million. Myles Garrett, 4 years, $160 million, $60 guaranteed at signing, got $40 million in an annual salary. If you're Trey Hendrickson, do you settle for, and I know settle isn't the right word, but would you say, okay, I'm good with 40 mil, 40 and a half, 39 mil, like somewhere like that? I wonder what the offer has been. Oh, wow, yeah. Beastrilla said Trey's getting lowballed for the output he's been given. And it seems like they're still, at least from what I was like, okay, maybe they'll be around this. They're still $12 million apart. The reported offer is $28 million a year, according to multiple reports. What Hendrickson wants is he wants more guaranteed money and a longer contract term. He's playing in the final year of a $16 million deal. Trey should accept anywhere between 30 to 35. And that's what I'm saying, right? Like, if he hasn't given you the exact same output as TJ Watt or Myles Garrett, like he's number 3 on that list behind Myles Garrett and TJ Watt in sacks over the last couple of years, then he should be between, I would say, 35 to 40, right? Like somewhere in between there. 30 might be pushing it, but I think he's also up against a line right now. You're only making 16 this year, You should, like 28, okay, I can see why you'd be like, look, these guys are making other stuff. But yeah, like I agree with you, Tommy. Trey shouldn't get paid more than Garrett and Watt. I'm sorry. No need to be sorry. No need to be sorry at all. I agree with that as well, right? Like if you haven't, you're on the wrong side of 30. You've had a couple of good seasons, but for me, it's like, okay, 30 to 35. Yeah, sign that. I think all of us are saying that. All of us could go run the Bengals front office right now and avoid these headaches. Trey is a beast, but yeah, he's only going to get 30 to 35 mil. They just drafted and signed Shamar Stewart. He's got to go elsewhere. I don't think, like, if I'm the Bengals, I got to find a way to make sure I keep Stewart and Hendrickson for at least a couple of years, right? Like, that's the only way you're going to have a halfway decent defense. Don't worry, Tommy Chingon. TJ is the best defensive player in football. I don't know. There's still a guy named Micah Parsons that exists. So we're going to say that. 4 seasons, 4 Pro Bowls for Micah Parsons. Tommy's saying Trey should be in the 25 to 30 million per year range. And he's being offered 28 million. Look, if I'm him, I say, what's 2 million amongst friends? Let's get it to 30. Let's get the stuff here. Even if you want to get to 32, right? 32, you doubled what you're making this season. Go ahead and try to do something like that. But it just feels like, to me, if Trey Hendrickson is trying to be the highest paid defensive player in the NFL, someone's giving him some bad advice, right? Because, again, Myles Garrett has done it. TJ Watt has done it. If I'm not mistaken, TJ Watt is younger than Trey Hendrickson. Maybe Myles Garrett is a little bit older. Actually, no. Wow, that's insane. Myles Garrett is 2 years younger than Trey Hendrickson. I don't know why it felt like Myles Garrett being 29 years old is wild to me. I would have sworn that Myles Garrett was older than 29 years old. That is wild to me. So like he and TJ Watt, they get their deals because, again, they're younger than Trey Hendrickson. I get TJ Watt is 30, Trey Hendrickson 31, but TJ Watt's deal is a 3-year deal, right? Like he'll be the same age as Myles Garrett whenever that deal's done. Trey Hendrickson, if you're looking at, okay, at the time whatever my age is going to be by the time my contract is over, then Trey Hendrickson will be should be 33, just like TJ Watt's going to be. That's 2 years, right? So if the Bengals are giving him 3 years at $28 million a year, you might as well sign it, my guy. I am baffled at the fact that Myles Garrett is only 29 years old. I feel like he's been in the league for a decade or more. That was news to me. I thought Myles Garrett was like a little bit older than Trey Hendrickson. Maybe it's just being on the Browns makes it seem as if you're aging like bread. But Myles Garrett, we can say he's not aging like bread. He's aging very well. Very well indeed. I have put it out there, like the question for the show today, as I give a shout out to my dude Hazelnut Hasiel and Ray Work Productions who tuned in over on Instagram. Thank you all so much for being a part of the show. I put it out in the title of the show. If Trey Hendrickson is going to end his holdout, what does it mean for Micah Parsons? We know the Dallas Cowboys are going to pay Micah Parsons. And I was watching Get Up this morning, which I very rarely do. I shouldn't have watched it. All it does is serve as a vehicle to piss me off whenever they talk about the Dallas Cowboys, because you can tell Mike Greenberg and the rest of the crew just hate the Dallas Cowboys. Whatever reasons, they hate the Dallas Cowboys. And it feels almost like they're just regurgitating the same old stuff that we hear all the time, right? Well, the Dallas Cowboys haven't won in 30 years. The reason the Cowboys haven't won in 30 years is because of Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones waits too long to sign his players, and he could have had them, he could have saved $4 million a year if he had signed Dak to a contract earlier, or if he had signed CeeDee Lamb to a contract earlier. And then they had to manipulate some of the numbers here where they were like, Joe Burrow was the only quarterback making over $53 million. Well, why didn't they talk about the list of quarterbacks that are making over $50 million a year? Like Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, Tua Tagovailoa. Joe Burrow made $55 million, right? Jordan Love, $55 million. Dak Prescott getting $60 million. That was the way the market went. Shout out to my guy, MCY Bother, who tuned in over on Instagram right now as well, along with Jason Roop 9, who tuned in over there. Come on over to the YouTube side. We're trying to grow the YouTube audience. You got YouTube, come on over. At Mr. Tipton 33. That's what we're looking for on the YouTube channel. Again, watching Get Up, this morning they're talking about the issues with the Dallas Cowboys. Why are the Dallas Cowboys so bad? And it's because they wait so long to sign these guys to these contracts. They could have saved $5 million a year if they had signed Dak earlier. Not remembering, it's a two-way street with this stuff, right? The same thing with Micah Parsons and his agent. If Micah Parsons' agent had said to the Dallas Cowboys, we'll sign right damn now, the Dallas Cowboys would have him signed right damn now. It's not a one-way street. And all the pundits out there, all the people on social media, all the people in the media sphere want to make it seem like it's just the Dallas Cowboys. What are the Dallas Cowboys doing that no other team is doing? Oh, it must just be nobody wants to deal with Jerry. When have the Dallas Cowboys lost a big free agent that they've gone after? when have the Dallas Cowboys lost a player on their team whenever it came up to the end of a contract and contract disputes? You can give me Tony Pollard all you want. You can give me Zeke Elliott all you want. Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard. Running back is the most is the position in football where you can move on the quickest and maybe get yourself someone who is better later on that year, right? Tony Pollard didn't do what Rico Dowdle did last year, getting 1,000 yards for the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys trust that they can just have any running back come in there and be a great running back. So I can see why they wouldn't sign running backs. And let's be honest, if not for Saquon Barkley and if not for Derrick Henry, running backs still wouldn't have been paid. And you have to be Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry in order to get that payday. What other running backs? What are you're gonna give me Christian McCaffrey? Christian McCaffrey is the reason why running backs probably aren't going to get paid anymore. Look at how much money Christian McCaffrey is making, and he's hurt all the time. I'm looking up the highest paid running backs in the NFL so that we can see the gulf between the top three guys and everyone else. It's also crazy to me that Derrick Henry is making less annually than Christian McCaffrey is. That is wild to me. I will never understand how Christian McCaffrey is paid the way that he is. But you got $20 million a year for Saquon Barkley, $19 million a year for Christian McCaffrey, and it's $20.6 million a year for Saquon Barkley. Then once you get past Derrick Henry's contract, it's $14 million for Jonathan Taylor, $12 million for Alvin Kamara and Josh Jacobs, $10 million for Aaron Jones. So there are 7 running backs making double-digit millions of dollars. Joe Mixon on that list at $9.8 million. Hell, even Tony Pollard, who we spoke about with the Dallas Cowboys, getting, not coming back to the Dallas Cowboys, only making $7.2 million this year. Running backs are interchangeable, right? Like you can move on from your running back, go out, get a better running back somewhere else. And that's what it kind of seems like here. Like whenever you look at a lot of these guys, all of them, except for Alvin Kamara, are on their second or third team. I guess maybe Ramondre Stevenson as well. The highest paid rookie, Ashton Genty, making $8.9 million this year. So yes, the Dallas Cowboys let a couple of running backs go away. That's what they needed to do. That's just the market, right? Now I'm wondering if tight ends make more money annually than running backs do, because that's wild to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. More than double. 17 players. More than double the 7. 17 players that are tight ends make more than $10 million a year. Running backs, you had 7 of them making $10 million a year. We're not even going to go to wide receiver because we already know wide receivers are making a ton of money. If I'm not mistaken, CeeDee Lamb, the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. I was wrong. It's Jamar Chase, then Justin Jefferson, then CeeDee Lamb. Nonetheless, the Dallas Cowboys don't lose out on people that they want. The Dallas Cowboys, you've never heard them being outbid in free agency. The guys that are targeted to go to the Dallas Cowboys, for the most part, whenever it's not just, oh, Derrick Henry would be awesome with the Dallas Cowboys, whenever there's actual talk that the Dallas Cowboys are in contract negotiations, they do not miss out on any of their targets. They do not miss out on re-signing their guys. They just haven't. It's not been a thing with the Dallas Cowboys. They find a way, even being in salary cap hell. The reason why they're constantly in salary cap hell is because they are always making sure they're paying their guys. They keep their guys. I'm tired of this narrative that it's a bad thing for Jerry Jones to wait, because it hasn't impacted the team one bit. Now you can tell me, oh, like Adam Schefter reported yesterday, it's becoming personal. It's becoming personal with the Dallas Cowboys and Micah Parsons. It's becoming personal with them. How? How is it becoming personal? Give us examples of how it's becoming personal. Because no one out there has said this other than people who are, once again, hating on the Dallas Cowboys, because that's what people like. It's so easy to hate on the Dallas Cowboys. We hate this team. I don't know why, but we just hate on this team. How is it becoming personal with the Dallas Cowboys and Micah Parsons? You got to remember, I'm still of the belief that they have a contract already made. All of the rumblings that I got last year, and being a journalist, you don't ever give away your sources, but all the rumblings that I heard last year were that the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott had a contract signed back in April, and they just let it be. Like, they had their agreement. This is what it's going to be. We just want you to be in the spotlight, right? Tommy Cananza hitting it right on the head. Jerry just says shit to get clicks. Jerry does stuff to get clicks. Micah Parsons knows how this goes. He's got a podcast that's a top-performing podcast. The longer this goes on, the longer there's more drama, the more you can say it's becoming personal, the more views are going to go over to you. You don't think Jerry Jones appreciates that? Another showman? The Dallas Cowboys do not lose out on in-house free agents that they want to keep. They just do not. They never have. Why is it looked at as a bad thing for the Dallas Cowboys? Right? Like we can sit there and say, oh, well, they've been in this weird salary cap purgatory where they can't spend a ton of money. They can't do X, Y, Z. They can't do this, blah, blah, this, that, and the other. They always find a way to get it done. Do they not? Let's restructure this deal. Let's restructure this deal. Let's do this, that, and the other to make sure that all of our guys are paid. All of our guys are paid. I'll never understand. And maybe it's just me. Maybe it's me as a Cowboys fan. Maybe I'm just a jerk or something like that. But I will never understand why it's looked at as a bad thing. The Dallas Cowboys, you don't think it's good for them to have the highest paid player and set the market every single season in all kinds of different areas? They did it with DeMarcus Lawrence. He was the highest paid defensive end in the NFL for a while. They'll get there. I'm trying to look at right now who their highest paid defensive end is. It's Dante Fowler right now, and you've got to scroll way down the list before you get there. That means the Dallas Cowboys have money. They have the ability to sign Micah Parsons whenever they want to. They just haven't announced it yet. Again, I believe the contract is already signed. and all you're getting is just teased by Jerry Jones, teased by Micah Parsons. All you're getting is just the tip.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just the Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Go check out myhappynuts.com, guys. They've got everything you need to feel your freshest, so fresh, so clean, just like Outcast says, from your pits to your tip. They've got the whole body deodorant. Therefore, you're making sure you're smelling good, you're feeling good. It's the best you can possibly be. Then they've got the comfort cream, so you don't got to worry about doing the stanky leg anymore. They got the anti-chafe stick, so if you want to go commando, you can go commando and not worry about starting a fire in your pants. All the products you need for all your male grooming needs. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save. Take care of yourself, because self-love comes from you and only you. How can you love anyone else until you love yourself? www.myhappynuts.com. Promo code Mike Tipton at checkout. Tommy Cananza going on to say the Dallas Cowboys do this all the time. Every big contract they do gets signed at 0 hour. Dak, Zeke, Lamb, Dak again. They always sign right before the season starts. Of course they do. It's the way that they're able to keep themselves in the media cycle, right? It's crazy to me how the media hasn't caught on to this. Like that it's a cycle all the time. You got a big name player, Micah Parsons, a big name defensive end. Arguably the best in the NFL. And I say arguably just because I don't want to make people mad this year. Of course they're going to talk about that contract, right? It feels like every single season, we talk about a contract with the Dallas Cowboys. It was CeeDee Lamb. It feels like every year except this year we talk about Dak Prescott's contract. And now you're talking about Micah Parsons. It's just what the Cowboys, like they reeled you in. They lured you in. As a Cowboys fan, I'm cool with it. You want to talk about them on the national media landscape? Go ahead. Talk about them on the national media landscape. But don't sit there and make it seem like, oh, Jerry Jones is a bad owner. Jerry Jones is a bad GM. How many teams out there would give up everything to have the Dallas Cowboys brand, marketing, awareness, and roster on their team right now? And I assure you it's more than half. It's probably more than 20 teams that would love to be in the position the Dallas Cowboys are in year after year after year. The only team that gets talked about whenever they're bad, just like they do whenever they're good. Tommy Cananza saying, sorry, Richie, but Micah is the best defensive player in the NFL, and the contract will be a reflection of that statement. He will be the highest paid player in the NFL. I don't think Jerry Jones cares about resetting the market because he's done it so many times. I'm going to look this up. I'm trying to find out how many times the Dallas Cowboys have had the highest paid player at their position. So it's also happened with Romo. It happened with Dak, DeMarcus Lawrence, Amari Cooper. The Dallas Cowboys have done this time and time and time again. They don't mind having the highest paid player at their position. They've done it a bunch of times, dating all the way back to Tony Romo. If I'm not mistaken, Terrell Owens was the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL when he was with the Dallas Cowboys. I remember them spending tons of money, having the highest paid offensive line when they had Andre Gerard and them boys. The Dallas Cowboys have no problem doing that with their team, resetting the market time and time again. Jerry Jones isn't out here pinching pennies to try to get a roster together. Remember how many times I've said it before. I'll say it again. The salary cap exists to protect the NFL from Jerry Jones and to protect Jerry Jones from himself. That's the only reason why there's a salary cap in the NFL. Because if you told Jerry Jones that he can go out and spend all the money he wanted to in free agency, he would. He would lock up his guys for years, decades. Tommy Canazza saying they don't spend big money on outside free agents, but homegrown free agents is a different story. Exactly. They don't lose out. They simply do not lose out on their guys, on the guys they want. It just doesn't happen with the Dallas Cowboys. They always keep the big guy on their team. Bistro saying, now that's arrogance, Tip. LOL. What was it? What was arrogant? I'm trying to remember. I said a lot of stuff there. What was arrogant? I'm like trying to replay it in my head. Maybe that's maybe is that like the sign of arrogance? Is like you say it, but you don't realize you're being arrogant about it. I feel like whenever I'm arrogant, I tend to remember whenever I'm arrogant. I'm trying to think of what I said that was arrogant. Or maybe I'm just saying too many words all at once. It's word vomit now. It's a word salad coming out of me. Hey, yo. The salary cap statement. It's the truth. It is 100% the truth. Prior to the Walton family, these conglomerates coming in and buying teams, like groups of teams coming in, Jerry Jones was the most powerful, and still is, the most powerful owner in the NFL. He might not be the richest owner in the NFL now, but he is still the most powerful owner in the NFL. And prior to the Walton family, the Walmart family coming in and buying the Broncos, prior to a lot of those things, Jerry Jones was the richest owner in the sport. Salary cap is there because you have to remember when the salary cap was introduced, 1994, 31 years ago. Why? The Dallas Cowboys. We don't want this dynasty anymore. We got to put in a cap to make sure that the Dallas Cowboys aren't having all the best players on the team. Bistro saying it wasn't created for Jerry Jones. There are other owners that could go nuts. Oh, 100%. 100%. There's a ton of owners out there that can go nuts. But they won't be able to have the brand recognition, the ability to make that money back on concessions, on apparel, on TV deals, on all the other things that the Dallas Cowboys have, right? You can be the New England Patriots and have all the Super Bowls that you won, but your symbol, your logo is not nearly as recognizable as that of the Dallas Cowboys, not just in the United States, but globally. Globally, that is a global brand along with the Yankees, along with the Lakers. I hate the Lakers. I hate putting the Lakers on this. But along with those teams like that, the Boston Red Sox, teams that are recognized simply based off of the logo. No team out there is more recognizable than the Dallas Cowboys and that star. That's where the money comes in. People that want to buy your apparel. I got a call the other day from Augustine, who is a diehard Dallas Cowboys hater. who told me his son bought a Dallas Cowboys hat. Not because he cares about the Dallas Cowboys, but because he liked the color scheme. How many people out there are making these videos where they buy Dallas Cowboys jerseys and set them on fire as Dallas Cowboys fans because now it's a funny thing to pretend you're a Cowboys fan and set stuff on fire? Still making money for Jerry Jones. People don't do that shit with any other team. It's simply the Dallas Cowboys. So sure, owners can go out there and spend a ton of money. You don't, and maybe this is me. I can't even say it's me out on a limb. It's me paying attention in sports business because that's one of the weird things that I love. As an owner, you don't make money from your team until you sell it, unless you're the Dallas Cowboys, because you're making money off of being the Dallas Cowboys, unless you're the LA Lakers, because you're making money off of being the LA Lakers, unless you're the New York Yankees, because you're so recognizable, the Boston Celtics, the Chicago Cubs, teams like that, teams that transcend the sport. You know the team based off of its logo. Very, very few NFL teams are recognizable outside of the United States, except for the Cowboys and our beloved Jacksonville Jaguars. I got through that without laughing. I almost made it all the way through. I got through that part without laughing. Watt should have been a Cowboy. It still blows my mind how they took Taco over Watt. Shake my damn head. Oh, were they in the same draft? Was Taco Charlton in the same draft with TJ Watt? Holy hell, it was. How'd they not take? I'm going over the 2017 draft here. Trying to find where the Dallas Cowboys drafted at. TJ Watt was drafted that low? The 30th pick in the NFL draft, TJ Watt was? That is wild, man. The number one overall pick. I'm in love with this 2017 draft right now. Myles Garrett, number one. Mitchell Trubisky, number two. I loved. I don't know why, but I loved Mitchell Trubisky. I saw him play in the Sun Bowl and thought to myself, this dude had one of the greatest comebacks in Sun Bowl history. He's going to be a phenomenal quarterback in the NFL. It was UNC versus Stanford. Christian McCaffrey sat that game out. Stanford was making fun of Texas for having guns. Their band was making fun of Texas for having guns, which was a kind of a weird thing to do. And I thought Mitchell Trubisky was going to be the truth. I used to call him Truth Bisky. Told my dude, Jonathan Hood, up in Chicago with ESPN 1000, I told him that Mitchell Trubisky was going to be the truth. Those Trubisky biscuits is what I used to call his amazing passes. Solomon Thomas, number 3 overall. Leonard Fournette, Corey Davis. Now I'm just a dude naming dudes. Jamal Williams, Jamal Adams, Mike Williams. Man. Christian McCaffrey, number 8 overall. John Ross. Damn, John Ross has bounced around. Patrick Mahomes. This was a great draft. Marshawn Lattimore, Deshaun Watson. Ugh. Hassan Reddick. Woof. Derek Barnett, Malik Hooker. Jonathan Allen, Adoree Jackson, O.J. Howard, I'm really in love with this draft. This was a great draft. Going back over to the comment section, B Strilla saying, let's be on, or Tommy saying, let's be honest, Strilla. The salary cap was put into place to handicap the Cowboys of the 90s. If they didn't implement the cap, the Cowboys would have dominated the 90s even more than they did. Going on to say they literally had TJ Watt on the board, and Rob Marinelli convinced the front office that Taco Charlton was the better prospect. He said that Watt didn't fit what they were trying to do. Jesus Christ, that is insane. Beastrill saying, sorry, Tommy, I can't believe that. Going back to the salary cap talk, maybe we as Dallas Cowboys fans have just, again, like the salary cap, it's not just me, because I've heard it from a bunch of people. I've heard it from Rich Eisen. I've heard it from Dan Lebitard. I've heard it from Dan Patrick as well. The salary cap was implemented to save the league from Jerry Jones. All the way back in 1994. You got to remember, that's right in the middle of the Dallas Cowboys being as dominant as they were. Jerry Jones came in as the new hotshot owner, just throwing out money left and right, making deals, doing all this stuff. That's what the salary cap was trying to prevent. I also can't believe that they didn't have a salary cap and the Players Association agreed to have a salary cap. Like, when was the salary cap implemented in the NBA? Jesus Christ. That is wild. Jerry helped start the salary cap. His arrogance was his downfall. 100%. 100%. The first NBA salary cap was in its inaugural season in 1946, 1947. When was hockey's salary cap introduced then? See, they introduced the salary cap in 2005, 2006, following the lockout that they had in 2004, 2005, and they had the canceled season that year. But I want to see if there was another time, like prior to that there was a salary cap in hockey. No, it was just then. Just then, 2005. I could understand that because you had a holdout, you had a lockout, you lost your season, you made no money whatsoever. NFL players never had a lockout like that. I know they had the scabs like in the 80s or whatever. But as soon as you give up your position and you get to have a salary cap and it's voted on by the Players Association, right? Like the Players Association has to agree to this. I'm gonna have to do some research on this. I've got some time today, so I'm gonna do some research, Strilla. And whenever we come back tonight on the National Professional Sports Show, I'm going to drop that bomb once again. Just pull the pin out, throw the grenade, get yelled at by everybody like I did this past week. I didn't get yelled at. It was just a fun conversation. I love seeing whenever Keith Angle and J Train get excited. Well, I guess that explains why the Cowboys haven't won since 1996. Exactly. They don't know how to navigate a world with a salary cap. They were so good without it. And then they got the salary cap, and they don't know how to navigate the world with it. They pay all their players. They keep their homegrown talent. They do all the stuff that they need to do. They just don't win Super Bowls. I saw a stat that I wish I hadn't seen, which was that the Dallas Cowboys have the most 12-win seasons without getting a playoff win that season. And it's 6 times. 6 times the Dallas Cowboys have won 12 games since 1996 and not won a playoff game. I feel like I want to change what I said about the Cowboys winning 12 games because apparently winning 12 games is a curse for this team. So I'm going to say they win 13 games just to get away from the 12-game curse. If the Dallas Cowboys win 12 games, they're not winning a playoff game, which is absolutely insane to me to think that. I wonder how many times in total. How many times in total they've won 12 games since 1996? That stat that ESPN gave must be wrong. 1, 2, 3. I counted 4 times since 1996 that the Dallas Cowboys won 12 games. So that stat on ESPN must be wrong. I'm going to call some people up and make fun of them. Their pure blind hatred of the Dallas Cowboys on full display on Get Up this morning. But at least the Dallas Cowboys are above 500. 251 and 217 going all the way back to 1996. There were a couple of years there where they were right neck and neck in wins and losses at 500 in wins and losses. Maybe I'm counting this wrong. Maybe they're going all time for the Dallas Cowboys. No, because they have 16 seasons where they've won 12 or more games in NFL history, like in their history. I don't know. I have no idea what this stat was. I'm going to have to try to clean it up. I probably shouldn't have introduced it without researching it first, but I saw it right before the show started. I got a TV right here, and I was watching TV. Tommy Canon's saying they also won 12-plus games from 1993 to 1996. They won 3 Super Bowls along the way. That is true. That is true. So you know what, Tommy? You've given me hope. You've restored my faith once again in the Dallas Cowboys winning 12 games or more. I hate what this team does to me. They make me so unsure of stuff. I'm always so confident in other aspects of my life, except whenever I talk about the Dallas Cowboys. I hate that I love this team. We're starting to be very Dallas Cowboy heavy, though. I've noticed. I wanted to talk a little bit about the MLB trade deadline, what teams are going to be buyers, what teams are going to be sellers. It looks like the Yankees are on their way to being buyers. The Tigers on their way to being buyers. They got to get, like Bistrilla said a couple of days ago, they got to get some bullpen help. The Yankees got to get pitching as well, maybe some bats. You got to rely on more than Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge isn't there. The Yankees are a bad team. Tommy Canon's saying, as it should be. I know, right? Like everyone else. Everyone else is so anti-Dallas Cowboy on their show whenever I watch the national streaming sports stuff. Everyone else is so anti-Dallas Cowboys. I guess I have to be the beacon of hope, the beacon of light for the Dallas Cowboys. Got to start getting like Dallas Cowboys insiders on this show. Got to see if we can get Babe Laufenberg again. I saw one of the coolest, like maybe I'm one of these guys, right? Like I love weird things that happen in sports. And yesterday, Sir Anthony Dominguez, a relief pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles were playing a doubleheader with the Toronto Blue Jays. In the middle of that doubleheader, Sir Anthony Dominguez was traded from Baltimore to Toronto. So all he has to do is just go to a different locker room. He was traded in the middle of the Orioles playing a doubleheader against the Toronto Blue Jays. And you see him walking out, and he goes like by his other teammates as he's getting ready to go into the bullpen, and then pitches against his former team that night. So he starts the day with the Baltimore Orioles, gets traded during the middle part of a doubleheader, and then pitches against his former teammates all in the same day, and then leaves on a plane or leaves the bus to go to the visitor locker room or go to the visitor hotel and all that other stuff. You talk about a wild-ass day. A wild day for Sir Anthony Dominguez, which also is a great name. It's not S-I-R, but S-E-R. Sir Anthony Dominguez. I'm going to like follow this guy's career from now on, just because I love weird things like that happening in sports. One of my favorite things to see, one of my favorite things to watch. You show up to the stadium playing for one team, you leave the stadium playing for another team that was also in the stadium that you were playing against. I love that type of stuff. All right, everybody. I want to thank you all so much for tuning into today's show. Tomorrow, we are going to finally begin breaking down position by position. Tommy Cadanza reminded me, the Cowboys dominate the ratings, Mike. Just remember that. -10 interactions when talking soccer, a little interaction when talking MLB, NBA, max interaction when talking the Cowboys. Just stating facts. I've watched every show you've done. That is true. That is 100% true. I guess we're just going to have to call, like, I'm just going to have to come Dallas Cowboyed out for the remainder of the show's existence. Just Cowboys all the time, baby. I can do it. I'm down with doing it. We'll allow other people to come on here and spew their nonsense once in a while about their favorite teams. But it will be a Dallas Cowboys-centric podcast. Once again, we're going to start breaking down the position by position, top 10 at each position, top 10 running backs, top 10 quarterbacks, top 10 wide receivers in the NFL. That's going to be every Thursday from now on. Tomorrow, we are going to start off with the top 10 running backs in the NFL, how we think they're going to do this upcoming season. All right, y'all, thank you so much for tuning into today's show. We will see you tomorrow. Have yourself a great Wednesday.